So most, in general, when I go to colleges, the most anticipated or the most curious questions that they have is, how come you, from a mechanical engineer, from a computer science engineer, you become a filmmaker? That's the most relevant and curious questions they ask me. So I keep thinking how it happened. I was a normal student, just like you all, any of you, any other, any average engineering student in Andhra Pradesh, then Andhra Pradesh. So went through MSET, did an average performance. So my parents want you to do IITs, but I didn't make it. So I said, I joined CBIT. So I said, there's IT in it also. So, and my father, the best branch to take was computer science. But my rank didn't place me in that. So I had to settle with mechanical. So there was so I took mechanical. So joined college. Actually, I was a little, the reason I'm saying this is how an average student here goes through his life. Most of the time clueless, most of them. Probably we don't know what we want to do actually. So when I joined mechanical engineering first year, what overwhelmed me was the engineering atmosphere. So it was a beautiful place, seniors talking to us and all, and so the happy times, girls. So the first year went along like that. Second year, the freshers come in and we have fun with them. So that second year went through that. Then third year, suddenly people started, students, we all started getting a little serious. Sorry, what do we do next? What is next? So we passed, and I was pretty famous in the college in terms people. A lot of people liked me. So we used to study late nights and every copy, study, manage. Every time my parents used to ask, like, what are you doing? What is your rank? I never used to tell me what my grades were. Very, very manageable, very just a borderline thing. Average, just average. So we used to do combined studies with a lot of friends. So third year we just decided, like, what do we do? So some guys in the university, some guys in the college decided that we all should go to US. So just, okay, let's go to US. So third year in CBIT was like everyone, we used to hold a Baron's book, like verbal Baron's vocabulary. So by heart everything. So no engineering course was important, but only what was important was the English courses. So did that. Fourth year we all went to write GRE in Delhi, because those days we thought Hyderabad was a little maybe not a good center. So we went to Delhi. So the whole AP Express was full of CBITians. We all just every one of us went to Delhi, took the test, came back, and then there was a time when we needed recommendations from professors, but obviously they don't even know who we are. So we wrote ourselves, like, okay, so I'm so and so. I'm a very bright student, very academically inclined, hardworking, and then wrote, this guy is in top 2%. So nobody knows how many are there in the class. So the foreign university professor won't know how many are there in the class. So it may be 10, or it may be 5, or it may be 50. So just top 2% is safest, top 2 or 5%. So took that to recommendations to the professor, and then begged them, pleaded, stayed late nights, they just stayed with them, and then got it signed. And then there's one more thing. It was called a statement of purpose. That again is standard. Somebody, some good person good in English wrote something, and then we just copied. So everybody had one statement of purpose. So we all, generally it sounded like we want to go abroad, we want to study in a university because we are very good in research. So in mechanical, we want to do robotics, and then mind you this, we wanted to come back to serve the country. So that was the gist of the statement of purpose. Because if you don't want to come back, they won't give you visa. So you should say you'll come back. So you write that, and then I went. So I got admission into, I went to New Jersey, computer science. Then mechanical. Then after one semester, I thought this was not. Then students there told me that, "Arey, mechanical, there are no jobs. So computer science is the in thing. So just change." So I shifted to computer science. So 3 years, 2.5 years, masters in computer science. So then I got into a job. So like everybody does, and I was like, really, my parents, everybody in India were happy. So I was also relatively okay. Kuch chal raha hai. Then one day when I was actually working, and I thought, what am I doing? Is this what I want to do? So then I realized I was seriously thinking, what do I like? So I didn't like US. I just went there because everybody went there, and I didn't like to live there. So I didn't want a green card. I didn't want a big car. I was not interested in big money or whatever. So my interests were different from others. I thought just maybe I'm a little different. So then I thought, what are you? And I thought maybe I was liked by so many people. That was one thing that was there. And my thoughts were completely different. See, if I lost, say $10,000, it just didn't bother me. If I didn't go to work, it didn't bother me. So if I lost job, it didn't bother me. I thought I'll go back to India any day. And I used to like nature. I used to like rain. I used to like kids. So I thought, see, why so many people like me? So I was just questioning me. So maybe the way I see the world, or the way I present my world, is what they like. So this is what maybe if I show it to a lot of people, maybe it works. Then I thought I wrote this. The gist was this. That was a statement of purpose to Howard University. I just wrote it and then said I want admission. I told that I like US, but I like India better. I want to go back. All my friends are here, and then I don't know what to do. My parents want to just continue here. So I think there is a rebel in me, and I like this nature, and I'm not interested in anything that regularly all others are interested. So give me a chance. Maybe I'm seeing a different world and I belong to a different world. So give me a chance so that I can show this world to everybody. This was the gist of my statement of purpose. I got a call from the chairman. And she said, this is one of the finest statement of purposes I've ever read. And then she said, she gave me admission with aid. So I joined film school. That was the first time. Not my blockbusters or anything. That was the day when I thought it was the most significant day of my life. So I keep advising or I keep talking to students. I tell them that try to find what you like. So that's not easy. It happened to me like when I was 25, having done everything wrong, everything right, but maybe happy soul, not so stressed out, but I never did anything right. That moment when I chose filmmaking, I think that was the best day of my life. And that was the proudest moment that I could share with any one of you. So I would suggest whatever it is, whether you may like cooking, you may like driving, you may like construction, you may like anything, you may like designing, you may like filmmaking, just try to find that one thing as quickly as possible, not to force, but let life take its time, but just realize that, just be conscious of that this is not what I'm up to. I want to do something else. That's the fire, or that's the urge everyone has. A lot of people just deny that. We just maybe compromise, we just let it go. Maybe convenience or whatever. So try to find that one thing. And then the other thing college taught me was friendships. That's what I actually portrayed in Happy Days. So we generally in college we hold unnecessary grudges, we hold unnecessary competitions and all. And later on, this 4 years of engineering or whatever, you realize that this is the last part of your true friendships. After that, what we do is just mostly business acquaintances. So you should actually, if somebody has a dream, I think another guy who's the closest guy or a group of guys should help nurture that goal. In general, no big thing, no big thing is created by one guy. There will be one person who thinks who shifts paradigm, who thinks completely away. Say, when we are walking, somebody says, I want to fly. Why shouldn't I fly? And he dreams about it, and one guy invests in it. That guy is called a pioneer. This history proves it in every case. Say Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they have a radical ideas, and there's another guy who will actually support it. So use this space, time in your college, to actually nurture. If anybody has a great dream, try to nurture it. So. So these are the two things I wanted to say. And another thing that actually, off late, say, I was solid on all these beliefs. Maybe 8-9 years ago. So since 8-9 years ago, I started rethinking about certain things. See, this is one step is that you want to know what you want to do, getting clarity, achieving it and all. So another step is I started rethinking about, just by deciding that I'll be a filmmaker and just by going to Harvard and just by making a great first blockbuster, is this the sole responsibility that maybe the God sent me here for? Then I started realizing that it's not just that. The content of the films is what I am actually. So the next part comes, you dream, you achieve, but how do you actually go about doing it? So every step, if you take in my films, there's one thing that actually I analyze myself actually. So I realize that empathy is the most superior knowledge that anybody can possess. So any technology, any studies, any entrepreneurs, any political great leaders or everything, why they become or what they become, why they are noted for is, if you just go back and think, it is just empathy that they have of people. All my films, you'll see this constant thread. So I think after you dream, after you achieve, build this consciously, be empathetic towards every fellow being, and maybe nature, and maybe animals or whatever, but be empathetic. Think that, because that takes a lot of effort to understand a guy who comes from a rural village. You talk to him, you have to understand. That means you let go of your egos, let go of all your high-handedness and you have to talk. So this is a very, very important thing that if you build it from now, that will actually reflect in your work, whatever work you're doing. So I think I close this session with saying that empathy is the best form of knowledge, highest form of knowledge.